So just keep in mind the last statement that's at the bottom. Anything raised to the 0 power is 1. So let's move on. So now we're going to talk about negative exponents. So it says for every non-zero number, or an integer, you're going to take the reciprocal, okay? Because technically, this is like over 1. So when I take the reciprocal, I'm flipping this. That means I'm reversing the numerator and denominator. So my 1 goes at the top, this goes at the bottom. But what do you notice about the exponent? It changes to a positive. So when you take the reciprocal, and this is the most important point for negative exponents, when you take the reciprocal of a negative exponent, it becomes positive. Just the exponent, not the base. All right, so take a look. 3 to the 4th power, I take the reciprocal, is 1 over 3 to the positive 4. And again, the exponent becomes positive. And then you could actually say that equals to 1 over 81, because 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is 81. Same thing here. Notice it's in parentheses, so you keep this in parentheses. And now you're also raising the negative to the second. So negative 7 times negative 7 is 1 over 49. Okay. All right, let's keep going. So now we're going to do question 1, but we're applying these rules. If I come up with anything to the 0 power, I'm going to just say 1. Okay, if I have a negative exponent, I'm going to be taking the reciprocal. So 7 to the negative second would be 1 over 7 to the positive second, which is 1 over 49. So you do want to say 7 times 7 is 49. Okay, don't do 7 times 2. Okay, next question. Okay, here's my rule. Anything to the 0 power is what? 1. And that's all you have to write. You don't need to write anything else. Just write 1. Okay, this one. Now, this exponent is negative, but it's in the denominator. Okay, it's not in the numerator like this one was. So when I take the reciprocal, it's not going to stay down at the bottom. Where is it going to go? It's going to go to the top, because reciprocal just simply means to flip it. Okay, so I'm going to move this to the top, and that's a negative 4. And then I'm going to make the exponent positive. Now, I don't need to put over 1. Please don't do that. That's why you see it in yellow. Okay, you don't need to put divided by 1. Just simply put it at the top. And then what is negative 4 squared? Positive 16. Negative 4 times negative 4. Okay. All right, number 4. So this is at the top. Okay, so again, think of that invisible 1 down here. So when I reverse it, it's just 1/9. All right, number 5. Now this one you have to be careful, because this is different from this. All right, these are 2 different problems. So I want you to write both of these. So write this one under number 5, because these are 2 totally different problems. This one is saying everything, including the negative, is raised to the 0 power. That's going to equal to 1. The other one is saying you're only raising this to the 0 power. So that's going to be negative 1. So this one will be 1 over 2 to the 5th. And that equals to 32. All right. This one, 1 over negative 4 to the second. So you're only raising the 4 to the second power, not the negative. So that's going to be 1 over negative 16. And then number 9, notice really everything has a positive exponent. This has a positive exponent, that has a positive exponent, and this piece just equals to 1. So technically it's just 7x times 1, which is 7x. The y to the 0 power is the 1. Remember, anything to the 0 power is 1. All right. So here, the exponent at the bottom needs to move to the top. And that's all you need to do. You don't need, please do not write over 1. Okay. 11, be careful. Every number and every variable has an exponent. So that has a positive exponent. So whatever has a positive exponent will stay where it is. So this 5 is not going to move. And a lot of students make mistakes on this type of problem because they think the 5 and the d is being raised to the -4, and it's only this part of it. So that's the only thing that needs to go in the denominator or take the reciprocal of. Okay, this has a positive 1 as an exponent, so it doesn't need to move. Okay. All right, number 12. This is 1. We know anything to the 0 power is 1. So I just really need to take the reciprocal of this. So that's going to be 1 over m to the 7th. Okay. Number 13. Do I need to bother the f? No. It's going to stay there. It's already positive. I take the e and bring it down to the denominator. All right, number 14. I don't need to bother the 3/5. Don't need to bother the a, don't need to bother the c. I need to take this is the only thing that's negative, put it in alphabetical order down at the bottom. Okay, so I just took the reciprocal of just the b, just the b. Everything else had a positive exponent. Okay, number 15. 9 can stay where it is, and we again know anything to the 0 power is what? 1, so I don't need to say 9 times 1 is 9. This needs to go down to the bottom, and what's going to happen with the z term? It needs to go to the top. All right. Next one. So we're going to be careful with this. These are the ones that are negative. M to the 5th will stay where it is. I'm going to drop this down here and drop this down at the bottom. Now we can say that 2 to the 3rd power is what? What's 2 times 2 times 2? 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay. All right, was that the last one? Okay. All right, so I'm going to show you something on your calculators now. This part is the easy part. So this is going to be in your packets on page, the scientific notation. So go to page 7 in your packets. On page 7, you have the first 4 questions are in scientific notation. We're just going to do 2 of them just so I can get you familiar with how to punch it in. So first thing you're going to do is put your calculator in scientific mode. So you're going to hit the mode key. Here's the mode key right here, right beside the second key. Okay. Everybody hit mode. All right, you should right now be flashing on normal. So we're just going to arrow over once to where it says SCI, and now you should be flashing on SCI. Okay, so just hit mode and then arrow over once. Then hit enter. So you can see what I've hit right here at the bottom. Mode, arrow over, enter. Okay, you might want to write that at the top of your notes. Mode, make it look just like this. Mode, put an arrow, and then enter. That's how you put it in scientific notation. All right, so put that at the top of your paper on page 7. And then let's quit out of that. So we're just going to go back to a blank screen, hit second mode. Okay, so now whatever I do, my answer is going to be in scientific notation already. So in number 2, you're going to type it in exactly like you see it. When I say exactly, even using the parentheses. So we're going to hit the open parenthesis, put in 7.9 times 10 to the 5th power. So we're going to hit 10, and here's your caret key right under clear to raise it to the 5th power. Now you want to arrow out so you're not still at the top like an exponent. Close it, then open another one and put in the other one. Okay, hold on one second. I need to go back and delete that. Okay. Give me a minute. Okay. All right, so we'll do open parenthesis. Not sure why mine is looking small. 7.97. Okay, times 10 to the negative 3rd. Negative key is down at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to arrow out once and then close it. And then when you hit enter, okay, now I need you to know how to write this because you can't write it this way on your paper. What do you think the E stands for? Okay, what do you think the E, somebody said it. What's these numbers right here called? Exponent. So when you write this, you have to make your answer look like this. So you're going to say 6.2963 times 10 to the 3rd power. If you actually write this as your answer, I will mark it wrong. Okay, so you have to put it using base 10, and then this is your exponent. Okay, so 6.2963 times 10 to the 3rd power. Okay, now we're going to do a division one. Now for division, you do need to also use parentheses, so go ahead and put parentheses around the numerator and denominator on page 7. Even though they're not there for the calculator, you will need to have it in parentheses, unless you write it like a fraction. Okay. How do we make a fraction on these calculators? Alpha y equals, so alpha y equals enter. Okay, and then you could actually type it in like you want, but I'm going to say parentheses 8.03. This one comes out to be a long decimal, so we will round this one. Times 10, raise it to the 6th power. Okay, I'm going to arrow out and close it. Okay, then I'm going to go down, so I'm going to arrow down so I can be in the denominator. I'm going to put my parentheses 7.5 times 10 to the 5th. Okay, arrow out, close it. And this one will come out, like I said, to be a long decimal. And then when I hit enter, it's going to give me this long decimal. I don't really need to write all of that. So we're just going to round this one. Let's round it just to the hundredths place. So 1.07 times 10. We don't need to say times 10 to the 1st, just say times 10. Okay, we don't really need to write that 1 as an exponent. So you'll just put 1.07 times 10. So the good thing about this, it can also take numbers, since it's in scientific mode, and put it into scientific notation for you. So for instance, like if I put in 2 million, okay, I hit enter, it'll put it in scientific notation for me. That's 2 times 10 to the 6th power. Okay, if I put in a decimal, like let's say 0.23, and I hit enter, it'll say 2.3 times 10 to the negative 1. So even if you had like a standard number or decimal number, it can also convert it into scientific notation as well. Okay.